The Archer's Fear of Death, a story of vows and rebirth in higher realms. Introduction. A grudge against the Buddha. Have you ever thought about it? Believe it or not, there were people who hated the Buddha to their very core. Today, we're diving into a classic Buddhist story that explores deep truths about responsibility, repentance, and redemption. These lessons remain incredibly relevant to our modern lives. Let's see how a man consumed by resentment experienced a dramatic life turnaround. The source of grudge. Our protagonist is named Zijian, the Archer, a nobleman of the Shakya clan. He had a beautiful sister, Yesodharaya, who was married to Prince Siddhartha. Initially, Zijian and his brother-in-law got along well. However, everything changed when Siddhartha witnessed the suffering of old age, sickness, and death, and decided to renounce everything: his throne, his family, and his wife, to seek enlightenment in the forest. Zijian was furious. He couldn't forgive Siddhartha, thinking, how could you abandon the throne? More importantly, how could you abandon my graceful, beautiful sister, the pretend devotee? 6 years later, Siddhartha attained enlightenment and became the Buddha. When he returned to his hometown, Kapilavastu, nearly all the clansmen flocked to see him. But Zijian's resentment hadn't faded. He had no desire to see the man he viewed as a deserter. Under immense social pressure, Xianjian finally agreed to visit the Buddha just to save face. He even went as far as receiving the 5 precepts: no killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, or intoxicants. But it was a shame. To rebel against the pressure, he soon publicly drank alcohol, intentionally breaking his vows to show his defiance. The 7-day prophecy. At this point, the story takes a dramatic turn. The Buddha observed Sichan's situation and made a startling prophecy. Sichan only had 7 days left to live. When the news reached Zijian, he was terrified. To mask his fear, he doubled down on his defiance, hiring dancers and musicians to party day and night, trying to prove he wasn't afraid of death. But it was all a facade to hide his mounting dread. The sequential softening. The Buddha, in his wisdom, knew the time wasn't yet right for a direct intervention. He sent his great disciples, one by one, to plant the seeds of Dharma. Day 1. Aniruddha, Zijian's cousin, visited. Zijian's heart began to crack slightly. Day 2. Ananda visited. The countdown continued to soften his stubbornness. Day 3. Maghalayana, foremost in supernatural powers, visited. Day 4. Shariputra, foremost in wisdom, visited. His guidance finally broke through Zijian's mental defenses. For the first time, Zijian felt genuine faith and admitted his paralyzing fear of death. The vision of hell and redemption. On the 5th day, the Buddha himself stepped in. He asked Zijian directly, "Are you afraid of death?" Zijian confessed. The Buddha explained, "Death itself is not the most terrifying thing. What is truly terrifying is the consequence of our own actions falling into the realms of hell, hungry ghosts or animals. The Buddha then used his powers to show Zijian the horrific sufferings of hell. Witnessing the grim reality of karma, Ziji realized that his intentional breaking of vows would lead him straight to agony. Overwhelmed by a mind of renunciation, he sincerely repented and retook the 5 precepts. In that moment of pure realization, he attained the stage of Sotapanna, stream enterer, ensuring he would never again fall into the lower rounds. The aftermath, from death to devil. On the 7th day, 所以他是为 peacefully, just as predicted. Instead of falling into hell, he was immediately reborn as a deva, celestial being. That very night, he returned to the human realm to offer celestial flowers to the Buddha in gratitude. The townspeople were shocked. Didn't he break his vows? How could he go to heaven? The Buddha explained that his sincere, last-minute repentance and his attainment of the Sejvut changed his destiny entirely. Modern reflection, the logic of cause and condition. A master once offered a profound insight into this story using the concepts of cause, hetu, and the condition, pratyaya. The poor cause, seed's own seeds, were bad. He was arrogant, stubborn, and spiteful. The great conditions, however, his conditions were extraordinary. He was surrounded by the Buddha and the great disciples. Think of it like this. The cause is the script you wrote for your life, but the conditions the director, the cast, and the stage you find yourself on. Cyan's script was a tragedy. But because he met the best production team, the Buddha, he was able to rewrite his ending. 3 lessons for today. We are constantly doing 3 things. We are enduring the fruits of past causes, planting new seeds for the future, and creating new conditions through our current behavior. Cherish good conditions. Good environments and mentors are precious and easily lost. We must actively cultivate a supportive network that helps us rise. Responsibility. Everything we have is the result of past causes meeting present conditions. Understanding this allows us to take full responsibility for our lives. The takeaway: even in your darkest, most stubborn moments, a sincere change of heart combined with seeking good conditions can lead to a total transformation. So, what causes are you planting today? And what conditions are you creating for those around you?